Hey everyone, welcome to Home is Where the Heart is. I'm Allie, your host and fellow military kid. I'm building this community as part of my Girl Scout Gold Award project to make sure no military kid has to navigate this life alone. My goal is to create a lasting space for us to find our footing no matter where the map takes us next. This is a spot where we can connect and share advice about all the highs, lows, and messy in betweens of life on the move. And if you're not a military kid, you're still welcome. You can gain some empathy and learn something new. So, if you ever packed your life into a box, survived your first day at a new school, or wondered what it's like to do those things, you're in the right place because here, home isn't just a place, it's where your heart is. So, today I wanted to talk about exactly what it's like to move as a military kid because I recently finished my move. I don't know like exactly what you want to say like the finish point is, but we've moved into our house. We're not traveling anymore and we're starting to get utility bills. So like that's what I consider moved in. And for me, this process was over a month. We officially moved out of our house on May 22nd and we officially like started unloading our trailer like our stuff into the house on July 3rd. So it was a really long process. And it's like kind of by choice. We did a lot of traveling. So I just wanted to talk about that because I thought it's a really cool, unique experience and opportunity. So the whole entire moving process starts way earlier than I think most people would think. So this place was kind of unique because my dad was going to Airborne College, which is a 10-month program. So we actually moved to Alabama on my birthday, July 9th, and then we left May 22nd. So it was a full, like, not even a year, it was a full 10 months. And it was because he had school. So we knew we weren't going to be staying here for more than that time. So, like, coming into the school, coming into that year, I knew I was leaving. So that's kind of a unique thing to have to experience because I'm doing all of these things for my first time, but they're also my last time. And it's makes me like I was nostalgic in the moment, which is a really unique feeling because it's all like, oh, this is my first time having like Halloween at this school, or it's my first time like going on Christmas break. Like, I don't know, what are the other firsts that you can do? First and last day of school at that school, my first last day of school, my last first day of school. And it's like my first last pep rally and my first last cheer game and like all of the things that you're sad about senior year, like I got to have that like for the first time and also last time at just one school. And then I did that like two other times and I'm doing it again for senior year. So like it's a lot of emotional ups and downs. So I didn't really have like a reaction, I think, to where we were moving. We definitely didn't expect Virginia. Like it wasn't even on the list of like I mean it was on the list, but like you could technically move anywhere. So like when we say it wasn't on the list, there was like a list and we expected it to be from that like those five places. It was not. I don't we never heard of Norfolk. My dad was like, we're moving to Norfolk. And we are like, what? Where's that? Um, but you know, it could always be worse, I suppose. So I didn't really like I wasn't like super sad or like anything or surprised. Like I said, we knew we were leaving. But yeah. And again, so like the next part of that is like having to tell my friends, and all my friends knew I was leaving too. Like I don't know how, it just seemed to come up like really early in conversation because so much of what people talk about is like in the future. Like guys, just YOLO. Anyway, but like all my friends knew I was leaving too. We were kind of all in like disbelief, but obviously like on the first day of school, I had to make friends first, and then I got to leave them. So um, and it's actually this school was a very unlike any other school I've been to because I was the only new student, like in my grade. Obviously, the freshmen are new. And there was one other military girl sophomore, but I was the only other military girl junior. That was a new student. Um, and I've never been the only new kid before because typically, like, you know, like being the new kid, whatever, whatever, there's usually other new kids with you. But since I was the only one in my grade, everybody knew I was new, so people like knew me and I didn't even know them. It was also a very small school, so that too. There was 70, 80 kids in my class, so like one new kid was like crazy. And it was also a magnet school, so um people don't usually transfer in and out. They usually go in freshman year, and no new people come into a magnet program junior year, for example. Um, what else? I wasn't really like excited to leave at all. It was Alabama, so it wasn't like the best place in the world. Um, and my parents didn't love like the place itself. There's not a ton to travel anywhere. There's not a ton of things to do, etc. And I kind of came in like it's fine. It's only 10 months, but then I made just such amazing friends. I was so sad to leave. Um, we like left our house the 22nd of May. I had a birthday party with all my friends in our empty house. It was an empty house party, which my parents thought was hilarious. Because we'd completely moved out. Like there was literally nothing in the house. No furniture, like absolutely nothing. And we got a bunch of food in Dirty Soda Bar. There was like 30-ish, 35 people there. It was super fun. And that was like my big like going away. And that kind of like set it in for me because I was just like, I'm actually leaving. Like, because I had the mindset the whole time, like, oh, like, it's fine. It's only a year. Like, I know I'm leaving. Everyone knew I was leaving. Like, it wasn't a secret. Like, whatever, right? But then it actually came to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving, guys. And I think a lot of the friends that I made, those are gonna be some of my forever friends, which I'm so grateful for. So I don't know, the packing up process. I didn't pack, so we did a Diddy move, which stands for do it yourself. I don't know why it's not called DIY, but anyway. And my mom packed my room mostly. Uh, Nothing special, I think. I didn't really get rid of a ton of stuff because I don't have that. I say that my hurts like you have so much stuff. I don't have that much stuff. I think I've like for the average person, I don't think I have that much stuff. Um, a few boxes, you know. So yeah, nothing totally special about that. I think it's kind of normal. The only thing is that movers didn't pack it. My mom did, so but yeah, nothing really special there. So yeah, and then like going back to the actual leaving, it's kind of like all my teachers were really sad to see me go. It was like kind of nostalgic. My school is a little unique because it's in the South, right? Like deep South. So they go back in early August, but they get out so early. My last day of school was whenever your last AP exam is, and mine was AP Lang, which was like around May 10th, May 12th, May 14th, something like that. So I was like done with school super early. I think it was like May 13th. I don't know. One of those days. Um yeah, and goodbyes never get easier. Like it's always sad. And I think as you get older and as you become more of your own person, you find people that are more of your people, if that makes sense. Like in elementary school, you're kind of just friendly with everyone mostly. But as you become your own person, the people you do get close with, like those are your people. So leaving them was like like I don't know. It's always sad. I guess it just gets harder then is what I'm trying to say because as you become more of your own person, it just gets harder. Um yeah, saying I didn't really have a ton of like favorite places in Montgomery. Like nothing, no cafes that I love. Like nothing like that cuz again, we were only here for a short time and the area is like not the most exciting, so it was mostly the people and the school that I'm going to miss. Um, okay, so the actual traveling. So like I said, we traveled for like a month. We have a travel trailer. It's 40 feet. And we all live in it, all seven of us. I have four siblings. I'm the oldest. So we all got to sleep together in our little bunkhouse. I loved it, if you couldn't tell by my tone. Um, it was fun, you know. It was like family living all together. on top of each other. So I'll give you like a rundown of our month. So after we moved out of the house, we went to it was like a campsite and it had a pool and like horses and fishing, and it was like an hour or so, 45 minutes from Montgomery, and we hung out there for a little bit because the first week of June I was going to Auburn for the Summer Science Institute, which was a selective program that I got into. It's like a summer, I don't know how to describe it like in simple terms. Basically, like we just did a ton of labs and like we talked to PhDers, and it was like so cool. Like I loved it. We went to all the graduate labs. It was awesome. But that same week, my siblings went to space camp. So when I got into that program, my parents decided to send them to space camp. So we'd all be at camp for a week. Um, and so that was like June 1st to June 6th. So after we moved out, we hung out at the ranch with the horses and the cows in the pool. um, and then the first week of June, we had our camps. I had my Auburn camp and they had space camp. So after that, we officially left Alabama. And then after Alabama, we headed to Wisconsin because we have friends who have a lake house and a boat. So we go tubing, water skiing. The beach there is on Lake Ripley. It's a pretty small lake, I think. Not even that far across. Um, and so we hung out there, and then I actually got sick there. We all got sick because my brother actually came home sick from space camp. He came home early and he brought like this terrible stomach flu, like some form of norovirus. Um, and it was like so transmittable, like you know what I mean. It spread really easily, and I looked it up, and apparently it's just this new form of like a summer virus, and it's like resistant to bleach and hand sanitizer. It was terrible. Um, Shivers, chills, like all of it. It was ugh. So that kind of put a downer on Wisconsin. But we got like 2 good days in, and then I got sick, and my sisters got sick, and our friends got sick that we were with. It was not the funnest. And then when we were leaving Wisconsin, so they live in Chicago, but they have a house in Wisconsin. It's like really close, like an hour. So then we went to Chicago City for a day, and we saw the Bean, and we walked the Navy Pier, and you know the Chicago City things for a day. And then after Chicago, we went to Indiana Dunes National Park, and that was really pretty. There's a ton of wildlife. It's like a huge like biosphere. They have everything, um, all kinds of plants and animals. In the beach, there's really pretty sunsets. Um, After that, we headed to Ohio to see my mom's family because she has one sister who lives there, and my grandma lives there. Grandma and grandpa live there, and we did the sandcastle contest, and we actually won first place. So, yeah, I know it was really cool. And then Cedar Point was really fun. It's a roller coaster park. If you don't know, it's kind of like Six Flags, but way better because I think they are owned by Six Flags now, but they didn't used to be. So it was like a local thing. Um, but it was really fun. They have some great coasters and like world records and stuff. So yeah, it was a cute little small town on a great lake, you know. And then after that, we went to West Virginia, drove through West Virginia, and we stopped at Harper's Ferry. And my dad's brother, so my aunt and uncle and their 2 kids, were in Harper's Ferry with us. And Harper's Ferry is a place very important leading up to the Civil War. They did like so John Brown led a raid on Harper's Ferry, and there's just some historical events. So we got junior ranger badges there. Um, yeah, it was a cute little town. We got ice cream and coffee. There was like a bunch of local spots, some pretty viewpoints. There's some good hiking if you ever go there, but we didn't go hiking. And then after that, we finally arrived in Virginia. So all those places I mentioned, we were there for like 3 to 7 days. Um, yeah. So that was like our fun summer thing. We saw a bunch of friends. And then we arrived in Virginia and we stayed at Sandbridge Beach. And then on the water, we parked our camper. And then we explored the local area. We went to the beach, the pool. We were kind of settling in because we'd been like traveling a ton. So just like being in one place and like breathing for a second was very nice. And then we went to this really good restaurant called Baja, and it was like on the water. And I got really good pasta. Thought I would share. So yeah. So we were on the water. I think we got here on the 29th of June, and then we hung out for 4 days. And then on July 3rd, we got our trailer delivered. But they actually, so we have two trailers. And I think you know what I'm talking about, like a moving trailer. One of those that are really big. I don't know, 28 feet. Um, my dad wanted the second trailer that we loaded to be delivered first because it had our hand trucks and like dummy glad hands and dollies and like those because obviously we used those to load the first two, so we needed those to unload. You know what I mean? But they actually delivered the wrong trailer. They delivered the first one that didn't have all of our supplies. So my dad was like, "Hey, we need the other one," and they were like, "Oh, I'll just bring it." So then we actually got two delivered on the same day because we were originally supposed to have to wait until, so it was July 3rd. We were supposed to have to wait till the 7th, 6th, um, to get the next one because it was a holiday. Usually they only do one at a time, but we got both at the same time, so it was great. So then we unloaded on the 3rd and we did a whole trailer. And then I don't remember if we opened up the second one. I think we did, and we did a couple feet. But we were really like almost done after the first one because it was so hot. Like only just the hottest day of the summer in Virginia. Like record high, like 98 degrees. Um, and we're carrying stuff and loading stuff. It was terrible. So then July 4th, we went back to the trailer the night of July 3rd. And then July 4th, there was an accident on the one road out of Sandbridge. So we were stuck on the beach in Sandbridge and we couldn't get back to our house in our trailer to do moving until like 3 p.m., 2 p.m. So that wasn't convenient. And then we did stuff for like 2 hours. We loaded and unpacked, unloaded and unpacked. And then we actually invited over to our neighbors for a 4th of July pool party. Uh, which it's so refreshing to have welcoming neighbors. So if there's a military family that's moving in, say hi to them. You don't have to invite them over, but just be friendly. Welcome them to the neighborhood because, like, thank you for your service. That works, that goes like somewhere, but welcome to the neighborhood and like talking to them goes way farther. I'll tell you that. To just feel like we had to move here, so this is our home now. Like, the best thing that you can do is make it feel like a home for us. So, yeah. Um, so I haven't really had a chance to meet a ton of people yet, just who lives by me. There's a couple high schoolers, but nobody my age yet that I've met. So I haven't really had a chance to like experience the like brunt of everything. I've been talking to a lot of my friends, talking on the phone a lot. Um, AP exam scores came out yesterday. So all my friends called me about that and we had our breakdown, because it was a magnet school. So all of us took 6 AP classes. So we had fun talking about that. Um, so I don't really think there's a whole lot. I haven't really felt any like friendships like dying yet, which is sad. I'm not just saying that in like a, like, that's what happens when you move away. Um, but again, like I said, as you get older, I feel like it's a lot easier to keep friendships because like these are your people. And also I feel like a lot of my friends, like, we could just text each other and then pick up right where we left off, which is like the best feeling ever. Like, that is a real friend. Like, we could have not talked for 3 months and I'm like, "Hey girl," and like we talk for an hour and a half on the phone and it's just awesome. So yeah, let's see. But yeah, my plans for the next month or so, I've got my room unpacked. I still need to hang stuff up. You can see it behind me, and I need to do a couple other things in the room, but all the boxes are gone. Some of the storage, like I had to put a bunch of books on my floor because I don't know where I put them in my old room. But for some reason, I have like 50 books that I don't have anywhere to put. And this room is bigger, so I'm really confused. And I haven't gotten any. So I have like 50 books, and I don't know where they were in my old room because like they're sitting on the floor, like right over there. And I don't know where I put them because like all of them fit somewhere in my old room, and this room is a little bigger, so I'm really confused about that. Um, but yeah, and my plans for the next month, like I said, I'm gonna work more on my podcast and my project as a whole. I'm trying to start getting like everyday consistent, and I made a schedule. I'm gonna be doing podcasts every Friday and a YouTube video every other Wednesday. Um, at least that's my hopefully that's my goal. Um, and there's a couple other parts of my project that I'm gonna start implementing. And I'm also preparing for senior year, college stuff, scholarships, ACT, SAT. Um, so that's kind of my plans. I'm taking the SAT. No, I'm taking the ACT on July 11th, and then the SAT August 22nd. And um, I'm going to Georgia to see one of my best friends from New Jersey. She's having her graduation. I don't know who has their graduation in July. Um, but yeah, I'm going to Georgia to see her, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen her in almost 3 years, which is crazy because, like I said, feels like no time has passed. So I'm really excited to see her. And yeah, that's kind of just what's up. Yeah. So stay tuned for more podcast episodes and go follow me on Instagram. Thanks for listening to Home is Where the Heart Is. I'm Allie, and I hope today's episode reminded you that you're not alone. We're all in this together. If you want to share your story, email me at thatmilteen@gmail.com or head to my Instagram at thatmilteen and click the link in my bio, and it'll take you to a form. And the form is also in the description of this episode, but you can share your story and help me show impact for my gold award. If you're listening on Spotify, rating the podcast and following helps me reach more people like you. And if you're watching on YouTube, interacting with this video helps this reach more kids like you. And if you're listening on Spotify and want to watch me talk, you can head over to YouTube. And remember, home isn't a place, it's where your heart is. See you next time.